another conclusion. The 50 km age signs in Italy serve solely to give manufacturers something to sell and to make the landscape a little more attractive.
Du findest dich cool, weil du lachst, wenn keiner lacht, weil du Musik anmachst, die keiner mag, doch findet es ein zweiter geil, dann ist es für dich auch. Merkst du nicht, die Religion ist auf Scheiße gebaut? Klar, Mode kennt die Junks in echter Dreck, doch modern heißt noch lange nicht schlecht gecheckt. Also komm runter von deinem hohen Ross.
Greetings to the girls, hello to the boys. It was a somewhat rainy night in the harbor area. Nevertheless, the view remains wonderful when you open the tent, push the tarpaulin aside, or simply film from below. What beautiful things can you see? The sea, of course. That's somehow nice. I just hope it stops drizzling and that it starts to dry up reasonably quickly. Then I'll pack up and head for booking the ferry. I didn't do that because you never know if you'll make it there, if you'll arrive, if something will come up, I don't know what. So I always prefer to do that once I'm here. Big Agnes, an American supplier that offers tents that are really light. But obviously, there is no rainy weather in America because I even have plastic ground sheet protection. It's also from the expedition trade. I searched for it for a long time. In any case, the tent is so watertight that down there inside, you can probably see it. I'm splashing around. The water is standing. Many thanks to Amy Land. Sorry, you'll make really great snowboards and invented skateboarding, but you obviously can't build tents. Tschüss. After packing my water collection container, I simply stuffed it in, not even put it in the waterproof inner bag of my side bags, so that at least the stuff inside stays dry while the tent, which is damp in all its crevices, spreads the moisture from the rest. I'm now on my way to the shipping company's office to get a ticket. I hope I can get one. After that, I might ride into town to get some food. Water crossing, very dangerous. I've arrived at the Haber. Apparently, it's another 2 kilometers to the office. I hope I'm still on the right track. There's a forest of signs here. And then it gets exciting. Now it's on the shipping company. That's why I'm talking again, otherwise shipping company won't get any further. It's similar to Tajikistan, or recently I came across Mario Hanna. I found it funny too. The office should be somewhere around here. I can already see the perfect place for me. I'll crash in there now and hope to get a ticket. Now let's try the turn. Completely exemplary. Is it possible without putting the feet on? Of course not. Right, I'll sit here. They have it good here. The ticket office doesn't open until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what the gentleman at the information desk told me. And also back there in the port cafeteria bar at the terminal. What's the word for terminal in German? I don't know what it is in German. Departure hall? No, it's not an airport. It's a normal port for ships. Perhaps some of you can already guess where we are heading on. The African continent for now. It's definitely not Morocco. Now I'm actually going to take another look at the harbor town. and maybe I'll find a welder who can shorten the side stands by a centimeter or two, because it's standing pretty upright now, and without some kind of slope on one side, there's very little chance that it will stand properly. Of course, it's even worse off-road. Some are putting the moped down, then placing the tripod somewhere, then riding through the picture, turning around again, riding back, and so on. Right, into the city. Maybe I can zoom in back there, Ceveticia, the port city near Rome. My moped is leaning against the side of the pharmacy because the stand is still not quite perfect. Now we'll let it pass. In the meantime, I store the water. I've also filled up my hydration bag. Another ape with a guard dog. He looks relaxed. He looks cute to me. I'm still looking for a welder who can make blue light so that the stand can be fixed better. Now I found someone else who has optimized the stand for me. Nicely welded. We cut out, I don't know, 2 centimeters and put the plate on, and now it stands much better. It's still under the swing arm, which is probably not ideal for off-road, but at least I can now put it down properly. You can also see quite clearly from the front that it's much more slanted again, so I think it's much more difficult to tip over on a flat surface. Right, I'm going to get something to eat, do some shopping for the ferry at a well-known chain. I don't know if it's Austrian, but we have it here too, and it starts with L and ends with L. I'm going to fix my brake line now because it's no longer original Kawasaki material, and unfortunately my self-made spacer has gone. That's why I'm securing it in the traditional way, as seen in films and on television. How do they say in Viennese? Das heute der andere. The perfect solution for the next 10,000 kilometers. Yeah, I've packed my tools away securely, so I can't open these 8 mm screws or these flathead 6 mm M6 screws and loosen them properly. I'll hope I'll remember at some point, and then I'll be able to fix it even better. And since we are already here, if we still have time, we might as well spruce up the moped a bit. We don't have to dive straight back into the worst of the mud on a new continent. You know the important parts anyway. We'll spray a little where it's important. First of all, I'll leave the top part for now, seat and co. We'll use the foam cleaner on the back. We'll spray a little foam cleaner here too. That should make it clean enough for now. Because you never know when you'll have the next opportunity, and if it doesn't help, it doesn't hurt. Right, that's enough foam cleaner. I don't need to get too close. It's enough if it rinses off. It doesn't have to be a new vehicle. It can't be anyway. But it's not a mistake to expect that you'll have to have it repaired again, so it's not quite so awful for now. And whatever happens, you might see something else afterwards that isn't as it should be. Another €2 down the drain. It wasn't quite as long this time, but at least it's okay again for now. I'll push the moped. No, I'll ride down there, have another coffee, and then wait for the ferry to leave. Civitavecchia. That's the Haber Promenade with a small Ferris wheel. Unfortunately, it's not quite as southern today, with cloudy weather. Earlier it rained quite heavily again, but it was only a short shower. The sea is also rough. All I really want now is to find one last proper Italian coffee. to enjoy before things slowly start to get serious, as we say. That's what it looks like there. Those who have been here know it anyway. They've already taken a ferry there or something similar. Those who haven't been here yet have at least seen it now. If that's not enough, there's also street view. You can already see everyone you can imagine there. Now that I've enjoyed my last coffee, probably on Italian soil, for the time being, I'm going to head to the harbour and buy a ticket. And then it's off to Africa. Very good. Well then, goodbye. Bye bye. A ticket with deck passage or a Pullman seat costs 70 euros if you don't book online yourself, but book it on site. I think that's really okay because if you try to book online yourself and then somehow don't get there on time due to some stupid mistakes like pressing the wrong button, then you've had wasted the 58 euros unless you have travel cancellation insurance or something like that. In any case, 70 euro is about a third of the price of a ticket from Marseille to Tunis. It also costs a fortune from Genoa, so 70 euro is absolutely fine. Right, now I think we are heading straight for Pier 26 or 27, which is in that direction. I'm going there now, then we will see. Maybe there are another mopeds there to chat or to look at. Now we are going up into the belly of the ship. Thousands of vloggers have probably made already this kind of video. That's why I think I'll do it too. I'll just stay on it. I guess he wants to see the ticket again. I'm sticking to my guns on this. We've got idling, passport back. Ciao. Grazie. Scusi. Ah, grazie. Okay, grazie. Bye bye bye. Yeah, it will be. I'm turning right in. Ah, okay. Bene. Bene. So, here we are. I'm filming outside one more time and then turning off. Yes, we've arrived at the ferry now. I hope the captain sets sail soon, opens the 150 carburetors and lets the heavy fuel oil run in so that the Euro 3, Euro 5 Plus exhaust system, that's how big all the silencers with exhaust gas purification are these days, can also do its job. I thought it would be a good conclusion to summarize the first 9 days of the journey to Cevicea, or whatever the port city near Rome is called. I'm not so good with names. About 1,750 kilometers, all on main roads. 3 passes, or 4 if I include my off-road pass. On one road pass, I had to follow police for a long time, the Italian police, which wasn't that cool. Otherwise, it's nice riding up. Downhill as always, it's always nice. You don't necessarily need 150 horsepower, but rather good brakes and low weight, then you can drop anchor later. Yes, and we are currently picking up speed. You can probably see that somehow. We are moving away. Another conclusion, the 50 km/h signs in Italy serve solely to give manufacturers something to sell and to make the landscape a little more attractive. The traffic itself in Italy is a dream, of course, because people naturally pay attention to motorcyclists and scooter riders. There's no blocking the way, on the contrary. People make room and always keep moving. That's the motto. Roundabouts and that like work really well. And in that sense, all that's left for me is to to do is consume fuel by cruising along these federal highways and just keep moving. It was 3.7 liters. That's really not too much to burn. On the contrary, perhaps compared to this heavy oil streamer, it will blow a little more. But those are the rules. Some have to have Euro 5 plus, others can burn whatever they want. But that's another topic. Hopefully, the next stop will be Africa tomorrow in the early afternoon. Then we'll see what happens. And apart from that, I can't think of any else at the moment. Of course, apart from the off road, I had to weld the stand twice because it was too long the first time. Then it fits on the second attempt, which was just today. The tent doesn't deserve its names. It's more like a water collection basin, and when it's soaked with water, it weighs 3 kilos instead of the 1.1 it should weigh. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the manufacturer for offering me something like this. Last but not least, I would also like to thank the viewers so far. I hope you stay tuned and we'll see each other then. I'm not going to call it the next season, but I will just keep running. We'll just see each other in Africa. And with that in mind, I wish you a good night and hello to the girls. Greetings to the boys. Aussies!